Hello, I'm Tom Varder and welcome to Adventures in TV Land. For today's adventure, I've come to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to check out Cannonsburgh Village. Cannonsburgh Village is set up like an old-time 1800s era, roughly, I guess, village. There is a small mill, a church, and several other buildings and some other attractions like that. So we've just come out to check it out. Now there are a couple of different parking lots here at the Cannonsburgh Village. The one that I've parked in, to get to the village, you gotta walk across this bridge. And that's kind of neat. They've taken that tree, which is dead now, but used it as a support on the bridge. That's pretty cool. There's some information about the bridge I just crossed. This bridge was the very first iron bridge ever constructed in Rutherford County, and it originally crossed Stewart Creek. From 1804 to about the time of World War I, every road out of Murfreesboro, except one, was a turnpike. Toll gates were placed along these turnpikes where fees known as pikage were collected. Each gate was operated by a family who lived in the toll gate house. Visitors must check in. Visitor center before entering. This placard talks about Uncle Dave Macon, who was one of the first stars of the Grand Ole Opry. Alright, that building is the visitor center. And I went in and I signed the guest book and was told I didn't have to really do anything, even though the sign said to check in. So there's an old millstone. This is the mill. What's pretty funny up top there is Michael Myers. This is just a sneak peek inside the mill. The one-room schoolhouse. One of my grandpas actually, he attended school in a one-room schoolhouse. That's where he got all his education at. Here's a look inside the one-room schoolhouse. Now, something I did not know, but I learned by reading the information placard, is that, especially before the 1900s, in most one-room schoolhouses, the boy sat on one side and the girl sat on the other. I did not know that. I bet a lot of people don't know what that little wooden instrument is there on the desk. Paddle for discipline. And there's the bell used to let people know school is beginning. The old telephone building. This is a look inside the telephone operator's office slash home. Until probably about the 1920s or so. Telegraph operators often did live in the same place they worked. This is an actual university house that stood on the campus of MTSU that dates from the mid-1800s. So it's a structure that was found on the university campus. An early residence hall. This is inside the kitchen area of the university building. And this is the sleeping quarters. Must have been professors that lived here, so maybe not a residence hall. I only say that because of the cribs and carriage. This is an early 1800s town hall. And a look inside that town hall. This little device here is a ash hopper, which was very important to the making of lye soap. Ashes were placed inside on top here and then covered for the winter. In the springtime, water was poured over the ashes, and after several hours of soaking, lye began to drop to the bottom of the hopper. Lye was mixed with animal fats, and then they were boiled and cooled and cut in blocks to use as soap. This is a 2-story log cabin. It's called the Lehman House. It's hard to see in because they've got these screen doors here, which are locked. And that is the Smokehouse. And that's a structure I'm familiar with, the outhouse. My dad actually, he had an outhouse growing up for a while. There's what you used as toilet paper, corn cobs, and the good old Sears catalog. That's a later model though. Now that building is not a period piece, but it is an art gallery, and it is currently closed. In addition, there is a museum here, but that too is currently closed at the moment. I'm assuming due to COVID. Now this piece is a little bit anachronistic, but seeing that it's sitting next to the museum kind of makes sense. It's just an old train caboose. Actually used to travel around through these parts here, apparently, according to the info. This is just a look inside the chapel. Erected in honor of W.H. Westbrook's founder, Cannonsburgh, a bicentennial village, 1976, in memory of Allie Clark Westbrooks for her support and dedication to Cannonsburgh. Another old-time tractor. Case. That's what it reads. This is another small wooden cabin. It's called the Mcknight House. It's locked up, and there are all kinds of bees flying around the door right now, so I don't want to go up there. And this is the post office and general store. Just to look inside the post office and general store. Now, as you can see, the front half was the store, the back quarter section was the post office, and then they had also a little community spot. People play the piano, play checkers. And here's a look from the rear part of the building from the post office side. And this is the village Lume House, built in a one-room log cabin. Everything inside this Lume House is authentic to the period, including the rug on the floor, now Cannonsburgh Village, although it's set up like in kind of an old-timey 1800s, early 1900s style village, has some other interesting things to see, such as this thing. It's the world's largest cedar bucket. This talks about the world's largest cedar bucket. It was originally built in 1887. It was a part of a promotion, and it got passed around. It was at the World's Fair in 1893, and at the World's Fair in 1904. In 2005, it was partially burnt because of an arsonist. Why? But then it was rebuilt using as much as it could of the original pieces in 2011. Look at the size of that thing. It's ginormous. Another somewhat unusual, I mean not totally unusual, but exhibit here at the Cannonsburgh Village is this collection of old tractors. It is the Rawlings tractor shed, because these tractors were all once owned by a man named Rawlings. And this little placard talks about the tractors and a little bit about Dr. Rawlings. A lot of different tractors. Ooh, that one's kind of neat. Unusual. This one too. It's a Ford tractor. Now these are the tractors on the other side. This Stones River garage sits just outside of the gates. And on this side of the Stones River garage, there are these cool old-time signs. I think that one's my favorite. This is inside the Stones River garage. Give a shout out to the Stones River Region Automobile Club. Antique Automobile Club. This is their meeting quarters. Now here are some props, I believe, that are part of the Cannonsburgh village, but that aren't there right now. They are just on display here under this pavilion. The reason I believe these all belong to the village is because of the numbers on some of these items, such as the 16 on this wagon here, and then all the little green signs, such as this one. Well, this has been another adventure in TV land, where we visited Cannonsburgh Village in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for further content and ring that bell for email notifications. And if there's some place that you would like to see me visit, or you have a suggestion for a future video, leave a comment in the comment section. And you can now support Adventures in TV Land by making a donation at Buy Me a Coffee. You can go to buymeacoffee.com and make a donation to join the adventures financially, if you so choose. You can find the link in the description of this video, as well as the description on my channel page. Well, until next time, that's a wrap. I still find that so funny that Michael Myers is up top there.